Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how to have efficient and optimized meetings so that you're more productive inside your agency. I've always found that by doing these three things, you will always make sure that you have an efficient meeting that takes 30 to 45 minutes, and instead of having those horrible 1 to 2 hour long meetings where you just feel like it's never going to end. Is you should always have an agenda, always have some meeting notes, and always have action points at the end. What we're going to do based on what we discussed that we're now going to do moving forward. I also like to automate this, so sending my client the agenda before the meeting and also sending the meeting notes afterwards. Now, all of this takes a lot of writing, and I actually want to reduce how much email sending I'm actually doing inside the agency, which is why we automate it in Coda. So let's jump into Coda and I'll show you exactly how to create an automatic and efficient meeting system. First of all, let's look at the core part of what makes up our meeting tool. We have the title, which is generated by taking the name and the date of the meeting. We then have the date of the meeting. We have who's attending. Now this pulls from my giant list of contacts that I have, and we'll be focused on creating our own table of contacts that we can pull data from. I then can select what type it is. We set the discussion points, the notes, and then we set the action points as well. So in this case, let's start off with a fresh new document. So I'm inside our document, we've got a fresh page, and we're just going to start off by making a few things that we need. First of all, we're going to need a contacts database that we can store all of our contacts in and use as a reference point for when we want to say who's attending a meeting. In this case, I'm just going to do /table to create a new table, and it's going to be called contacts. The display, or the full thing, will be the full name. Then I'll have their first name, and then I'll have their last name. I'm going to have their email in here because that's the thing we're going to be sending to. I also have their phone number and their website. You can have as many things as you want in here. It depends how complex you want your CRM to be. In this case, we'll just go with this. We're going to use my name and email for this tutorial, and we won't bother with my number and my website. I do like to just have a formula here, so we're just going to have this. What we want to do is combine my first name and the last name to create my full name. So all we're going to do is just say concat, first name, comma, and we want to add a space here, so I'll just add a space like this, and then last name, let's say. If you're not too familiar with Coda formulas, don't worry, just copy the one that I've done here, and you'll learn as you start to use them. Here we go, now it's generated my name together with a space in between. Cool. Now let's make our meeting tool. We're going to create a new table, and we're going to call this one meeting tool. We just want to have the information here that's relevant to the meeting. So in this case, I want to know title, date of meeting, attending, discussion note points, meeting notes, action points. And then finally we're going to have two buttons. So we're going to have send meeting notes, and then we're going to have send discussion notes. Now, we need to actually set the column types for some of these. So what we're going to do is just do another formula. It's going to be a concat again. We're just going to say the date of meeting. I have an X between mine, and then attending. Then we're going to set the date as a date field, so date, and we're going to have attending as a lookup, and we're going to reference contacts. Discussion points, meeting notes, and action points will all be text. Send meeting notes is going to be a button, and send discussion points is going to be a button. Let's move this around. Okay, so let's put this now into a bit more of a tool kind of look and feel. So I'm going to go up to options on the top right, and we're going to do detail look. Now I'm just going to put in some dummy data. So we'll say the meeting is today. I am attending. The discussion points will be talk about, discuss marketing. In the meeting we spoke about, and these are just the important parts of your meeting, remember, not everything, just the small points. So in this case we decide and increase. In this case our action point then is going to be, I like to summarize some of these with checklists. So send contract. Cool, that's that done. Let's move on. So now what I want to do is every Monday when I've got my block of time to put all my meeting agendas together for the week, I want to be able to send these discussion notes to my client before the meeting so that they can see the agenda and they have the opportunity to reply and change the agenda if they need to add anything else to it. What we need to do in order to do this is open up our detail display, go into here, the detail display option, and then edit layout. I'm going to go to our send discussion notes button, and we're going to just click button options. You can do a lot of things here, but I'm just going to rename it to send discussion notes, and I'll change it to yellow in this case. Now it's not going to activate just yet because we need to give it an action. So in this case we want to use the send email action. Now you'll notice that this option isn't available. So what you need to do is go up to options on your Coda page, go to search, type in Gmail. The one we want is packs and import. So click Gmail, sign in to install. I've added a load of my accounts already, but you can add your own. In this case I add my Gmail at the top. Now, in Gmail, I have it so that my company address is my default email address to send. Just make sure that whichever email you have set as your default one on Gmail, that's the one you want to be sending your emails from. And only me to perform actions. Now that we've logged in, we get access to all the building blocks, the templates, and everything is set. Go into options again, detail display, and edit layout. Go to the button options. And now you'll see at the bottom we have this Gmail thing, and it allows us to send an email. Here we have the email options, and it's really simple really. Our 2 is going to be this row. So that's going to be the row that we're currently on, which is the one we've just filled out. Dot attending dot email. So what we're saying here is go to the row we're on, get the person who's attending, me, and get their email. And now that's been set. We want the subject to be discussion notes for our upcoming meeting. And I like to usually just tell clients that this is an automated email, but you don't have to if you don't want to. In terms of content, we're going to have to be a little bit formulaic here. There are some things we have to do in order to be able to make sure that it's all formatted properly, and I'll show you that as we go forward. So what we're going to do is hit equals, and then I'm going to open this up so that we have the formula in a nice big view. I'm going to say that the first thing we want to do is just write concat. This is going to help us put together our message. So first of all, I'm going to say hello, space, and then their name. So in this case we'll do attending dot first name, or you can do their full name. I think first name is a bit more personal, full name feels a bit more robotic. And then after that, hey guys, Harry from the future here. You need to put this row dot attending first. I don't know why I said the other way around. I'll put the full formula in the comments anyway. So now, actually what we've written in this formula looks a bit like this. Like so. But we want to now add a return or a row to be able to have some space between our next part of the message. In order to do this, we have to add what's called a character 10. So we're going to put another comma in, and we're just going to put character 10. This represents hitting enter on the keyboard. Now that we have a space, I want to just say thanks for taking, don't forget to put it in speech marks. So in our message I'm just going to we'll just put, I'm really looking forward to talking to you this week. I created this agenda, which I wanted to share space. Now we can just add another character 10 for another enter. And then we're going to put our list together. Now, Coda it misses the last bullet point. And the format that I follow always in discussion notes and meeting notes is to bullet point everything. So what do we do to overcome that bug where it doesn't add the last bullet point? We have to use something called list combine. We're just going to add our discussion. So we'll say this row, and we're going to say the discussion notes from this meeting, and then we're just going to add an empty point. I'm not sure why this bug exists, but this is the workaround that worked for me. After this, I'm going to add another enter space. One thing I forgot to mention, you have to add .bulleted list at the end of this list combine. Now that we've got another enter in, I'm just going to write another message to them now and just say, please reply to this email. I'm doing this off the cuff, but think about the message that you want to put in. You don't have to put what I put here. After this is done, I'm just going to put another character 10, warm regards, one more character 10, and then Harry. It's going to look like the following. We're going to say hello and grab their name and say hi name. Here's your notes. We then put in our list of discussion points that we wrote in our app, and then we just say at the end if there's anything else, and we add like a nice warm regards as well. And this is what it will look like formatted when we do it with our character 10s as well. Dope. So that's actually done. And if we were to send the email right now, it would go through. But I just want to make sure that we've got some tidy ups. You'll see the buttons lit up now because we've actually filled in most of the things that were required. I just want to make sure that I add a hide signature option and tick that. Coda puts in a little signature at the bottom of your email saying sent by Coda. I don't really like it because it feels a bit weird, so I just remove it, so it's just me. But I'm pretty happy with this, so once that's all done, you can click done. Now we'll hit send discussion notes. It may take a couple of seconds just to fire on through, but now you see that there's one external action performed, and I'll show you what the formatted email looks like in this case. So guys, you can see in my email here, I've received it with the subject discussion notes for upcoming meeting, a message from me saying hello Harry, and then it's taken the discussion points that we had and put it into a nice bulleted list for us, and it finishes off the email really nicely. I would say that's done in terms of the discussion notes. So that's the first email automated. Now we want to do the same for our meeting notes. So we're going to do something similar for the meeting notes. We're just going to click, we're going to set the label as send meeting notes, like so. The action again is to send an email. We're going to send it to this row, .attending. We're going to just grab their email again. Like so. The subject's going to be RE, our meeting earlier. And the content's going to be similar, so I'm just going to grab the discussion notes one so that we have a base plate to work off of, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do differently here. So once again, let's open up the big formula view so I can see what the hell's going on. And we can see here that we've got a message, so we have our formula open now. And I'm just going to edit the one that we've got and put in some extra bits. I want to just break it out, so thanks for attending our meeting. The next bit that I'm going to do after the character 10, so after we've hit return, is I want to label what this is. So I want to say discussion notes, then we'll list out the discussion notes here. So we're having discussion notes as the label, then we hit enter, and then we do another list. And then we hit enter again. So this is what it looks like formatted. I then want to do the same. I want to add another label, this time for meeting notes. So we're just going to go down. So in this case, we're going to change this to meeting notes, hit enter, and then we're going to do the list. In this case, we're not going to do list combine of this row dot discussion points. Instead, we're going to do this row dot meeting notes. That's that done. And then finally, we're going to do the last one, which is our action points. So I'm just going to do meeting notes, list combine, and we'll do this row, action points, like so. So in reality, this is what the actual formatted version will look like on our screen. So we send the first message saying thanks for taking the time, here are the notes from our meeting. We hit enter, then we're going to label it as discussion notes, hit enter and put the discussion notes there. We then hit enter again and put our meeting notes in, hit enter and put our list of meeting notes in, and then finally we're just going to label it. I just noticed this mistake. We want to call this action points, right? So we then say here are our action points as a label, hit enter, and then we put in our action points. So now we have meeting notes that we're sending to a client that have the discussion points, the notes that we made, and any action points that we generated from there. Oh, we're there. If there's any, you can put at the end, if there's anything that I missed, please email me, and then we just do the warm regards again. If a client sends you an email back and says, hey, yep, I'd like to add this point to the meeting notes that you missed, make sure you come back in and add this, because when you're 2 months down the road looking back at this meeting, you're not going to know that you missed a point. So make sure that if at any point a client emails you saying, can I update the discussion notes, can I update the meeting notes, that you put it in. That's really important. So now that that's done, you'll see that our send meeting notes button is selected. We can now click it if we want to. I'm just going to make sure to make it green. Don't forget to hide the signature. So I'll go down into hide signature and tick it off here. Let's click send meeting notes and then check my emails. So one external action performed, meaning that it worked. I'll go have a look in my emails. So guys, here I am in my emails. Here you can see that we've now received our meeting emails. So Ari, our meeting earlier. Here's the 3 lists of points that are all together. And then if there's anything missed, then please email me. Warm regards, Harry. Dudes, super easy. That's how you can automate your meetings to be more efficient. I find that this process and system saves me countless hours of having to write emails backwards and forwards. I don't even have to go into my email app. I just do it all inside Coda. And clients love it when you send the notes before, because it gives them an opportunity to think, is there anything missing from this meeting? And as well as that, afterwards, everybody has a copy of what was discussed in the meetings. And then, as I said to you, if for any reason you're missing a meeting, you can just type in Harry Roper in the top. It'll come up with all the meetings that that person was involved in. You can quickly go through each one. Hope that helped, guys. It was a good little video. Let me know what I can do next to show you, and in the meantime, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll try and help you out. See you soon. Bye bye.